Hi and welcome to another episode of Budget MTG Decks. I'm David.
I'm Stephan.
And today we're going to be doing something very unique, something we've never done before. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing our pre-release decks for Guilds of Ravnica. The deck that I have constructed is basically Dimir, and I splash some green in there to go Sultai. And Stephan, what have you constructed with your pre-release packs?
For something really weird for me, I'm playing two colors, and it's the Dimir colors.
So you've heard it here first, folks. Stephan, strong advocate of going 5 or more colors every single time you go to a pre-release. He is here not following his own advice and going what is probably the smartest route, and that is sticking to 2 colors. I have gone against what I usually say. I usually say 2 colors, and I've gone 3 colors. So let's see how that pans out for us. Stephan, would you like to roll to see who goes first?
I don't like rolling for highest number because I always roll low.
All right, 5 is the number to beat. Come on, Daddy needs a win. Let's go. We're not very good at rolling on the mat as of yet, as you noticed. Okay. The 8 is the number which has 1, which means that me, which is the blue side, in case people of course can't see where we are. So yes, this is David's side, that's Stephan's side. So blue versus green. Stephan's just cut my deck. I'm cutting his deck also to make sure it's nice and fair. Now, I'm going to be drawing 7 cards and taking turns to show you what we have. I'll be going first. Oh, shouldn't be showing Stephan what I've got. It's probably not smart. Lucky he's extremely distracted with his own cards, so it doesn't really matter. And those are the cards. Let's see if I wish to keep them. I do wish to keep them, so I'm going to start putting them down here where the viewers can see what the cards are. But Stephan has assured me that he cannot. So
I can't at all.
So I'll take his word for it that he cannot see what I have. And I can assure you that I can definitely not see what Stephan has either.
That's fine, because this was not a keep at all.
Okay.
I had a 1 lander. And that's not enough to start.
Okay, so Stephan is going to mulligan. Not a great start right off the bat, but this just goes to show that when you just don't have the lands, you got to mulligan. And but at 2 lands, you would have probably kept it, right, Stephan? Considering how much draw you have in the deck with all the Dimir surveil effects.
We'll see.
Not that surveil draws, but at least it makes sure that you can hit what you want, which is very important in limited, as we discussed already. Being able to dig for your cards, being able to make sure you hit that removal is very important. And surveil, just make sure that you're able to get that good stuff. So the funny thing is that both of our decks actually do have surveil, as we're both playing black and blue, so that shouldn't be the deciding factor.
So this is a difficult hand to keep, but since I'm on the draw and I'm hoping you're slow enough, I'll keep this.
Which means from a mental perspective, right?
Exactly, which means I can scry, which leaves this one on top, and I'll keep it actually.
Okay. Well, you hate to see that he puts it on top. That means it's probably something good. I'm going to start, and I'm going to play a Golgari Guildgate. Comes in tapped, gives me black or green mana. Pass the turn.
So everyone knew what I'm gonna draw. So play a swamp, and pass the turn.
I'm gonna untap, then I'm going to draw a card. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to play a swamp, because I don't want to let my opponent know yet at this point that I'm also playing blue, because I'm crafty at this point. And then I'm going to pass the turn. See, Stephan has no idea that I'm playing blue at this point. So
this is the draw for the turn, and I think I'll immediately play it because it gives me my blue.
Good.
And pass the turn.
I'm going to untap, then I'm going to draw. Ooh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. You'd love to see that. Love to see that. Let's make some space right there for that beautiful card. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an island. And then I think at this point in time of the game, I am most benefited by paying 3 mana am playing Dimir Informant. Dimir Informant is a 1/4 human rogue, and when it enters the battlefield, surveil 2. So now I'm going to surveil 2. Surveilling 2 at this point. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 on top and put this one into the graveyard.
You don't need more lands.
I'm well aware of that, yes, thank you. And then I'm going to pass the turn. As the Dimir Informant has summoning sickness, I cannot attack her.
That's important to know for me, that you don't need more lands.
Is it?
This the draw. Well, it depends, because that means you have at least 1 land in your hand.
Exactly.
And I'll immediately play it. I'm thinking about what I want for this turn. And I think I want a Child of Night.
Good. 2/1 lifelinker.
And then pass the turn.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to untap, draw a card. We of course already know what it is. Put it right here, snug with the rest of these cards. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an island. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to contemplate whether I want to attack. If I attack with Dimir Informant, Stephan has 2 choices. Either he blocks and he loses his Child of Night. I do not lose my Dimir Informant as the toughness is 4. But what he would probably do is just let it go through, and then I don't have any blockers in that case, so then he would attack me for 2, also gaining 2 life, so the net gain of him would be greater than what he loses, so then I would be at a disadvantage, so it's not handy for me to attack. Instead, what I'm going to do is I am going to tap these 3 for a Chromatic Lantern, and then I'm going to pass the turn. Chromatic Lantern, make sure that it can tap for a mana of any color, but also make sure that all my lands give me mana of any color. Super sweet.
This is all about it. Put this one there. Guild Mage form, foil, important.
Fancy, fancy. It won't save you though. The foiling will not save you.
Will it not though? Playcrafter.
Alright. So that means I need to sacrifice a creature, and if I can't, then I need to discard a card.
So we both need to sacrifice a creature?
Yeah.
Because each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker or discard a card. I'll sacrifice my Child of Night.
I will sacrifice my Dimir Informant.
So I'm upgrading my Child of Night with a 3/2. Pass the turn.
I'm going to untap, and then I'm going to draw a card. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 3 mana to cast Notion Ring. So that means I'm going to surveil 2, then draw 2 cards. Let us put... I am actually going to leave it like this. Then I'm going to draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. I go down to 18. Draw 2 cards. I have not hit my land drop yet for the turn, so I will. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 1 black mana. I can pay 1 black because of the Chromatic Lantern. And then I will enchant Stephan's Playcrafter with an enchantment. Dead weight, enchanted creature gets -2/-2. I would put it underneath the creature, but at this point the creature's toughness is 0. And
so it dies.
Dies, exactly. And
That's
my enchantment goes to my graveyard. Then that is all that I can do, so I'm going to pass the turn to Stephan.
Untap. Draw.
So Stephan, how did that make you feel that your Playcrafter was killed after all that effort?
A bit sad. It's not really much effort I put into it, but a bit sad.
Yeah.
Guess I'll pass the turn.
I understand, thank you. That was the whole point of that move. I untap, then I'm going to draw a card. That is a card which I think will be useful in this game. Then what I'm going to do is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. And I will throw caution to the wind and use all of my mana. The question is whether it is smart to play a City Watch Sphinx.
Sinister Sabotage. Counter target spell, surveil 1.
There you go. Stephan has done the correct thing, and he has countered my City Watch Sphinx. And that means it does not die because it gets countered immediately, so I do not get surveil 2. And my bomb has been removed at this point, and I passed the turn.
And I can surveil 1, which gives me this. and I think I'll keep it.
Good. I can't do anything anymore, so then it is Stephan's turn.
Untap. Well, we also my next duel will be.
Yep.
Then we will play it. 1, 2, 3. Is this how I want to do it? Probably. This information campaign. You discard a card, I draw a card.
Right. I am going to discard Disdainful Stroke, which allows me to counter a 4-mana spell.
Now I'll draw this one, which will immediately play up island. And then I guess we'll pass the turn.
I'm going to untap my lands. Now, that I'm not going to lie, that hurt, losing my City Watch Sphinx. That was unpleasant. I'm going to draw a card. Then I'm going to play a forest. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap these 3 to play Notion Rain.
Notion Rain again.
I'm going to surveil 2 cards. I'm going to put both of them into the graveyard because I feel like I've got enough land for my purposes right now, the island and the Golgari Guildgate. Then I'm going to draw 2 cards. And I do believe the choice was correct. I'm going to put those in my hand. Then I'm going to lose 2 life, bringing me down to 16. And then before I end the turn, I'm going to pay 4 mana to play Rhizome Lurcher. Rhizome Lurcher is a 2/2 fungus zombie with undergrowth, which means when it enters the battlefield, it's going to enter with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. I have a Dimir Informant and a City Watch Sphinx, which means it's going to enter with 2 +1/+1 counters on it, making it a 4/4. And then I pass the turn.
Not bad. End of turn. Whisper Agent. Flash. Next battlefield, surveil 1. This is on top. Let's see, that is 6 mana. Do I need more? I think I'm okay with more mana at this point. I keep it on top. What David now know and well before. Since I surveil, this information campaign says if I surveil, it goes back to my hand.
Sweet.
And then I'll untap, and like we always said, more mana at this point is not bad. And then we tap 1, 2, and maybe this one 3. This information campaign again.
I'm going to discard a forest.
And I'll draw this one. Then this goes into my hand. David, how many cards do you have in hand?
2.
2 cards. That's still a lot. I will pass the turn.
Alright. I'm going to untap. Then I'm going to draw. Then I'm going to declare combat.
I will try to tap your thing.
Okay.
4 mana. Capture Sphere. Tap it, and it doesn't untap during your untap step.
Okay. Resolves. Then what I would like to do is I would like to pay 5 mana to cast Deadly Visit on your Whisper Agent. Destroy target creature, surveil 2.
That's a shame.
I'm going to surveil 2. And I'm going to put both cards into the graveyard. It's a Dimir Guildgate and a District Guide. Pass the turn.
Untap. How many cards in hand?
2 cards.
2 cards still. I draw a card, which is this one, which you'll immediately play as well. And now we maybe have a bit too much cards. Pass the turn.
Alright, I'm going to untap. Now my Rhizome Lurcher does not untap because of the enchantment. I'm going to draw my card. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the turn.
Then I'll draw, which is this one. which is something we can't really do anything with. So I guess we'll pass the turn.
Very nice, very nice. Let's keep this game moving along. Draw a card. Put it right here, and then I'm going to pass the turn.
This is such an exciting game.
Yes. This is as exciting as watching paint dry at this point.
I guess an island. I guess we're still passing the turn.
Wow, alright. Let's hope we draw into something a little bit more spectacular. And as if this card knew that that is what I wanted, I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Full amount.
7 mana.
Yes. For a Siege Worm. Siege Worm, once again, 5/5. Trample with Convoke.
Let's make the best out of this. Unexplained disappearance. I return it to your hand. Also fulfill 1.
Okay.
So then this is on top. And I guess we can keep it. It's not really exciting, but it's something. And since I fulfilled, the most important thing is that I get this one back.
Yeah. It's a nice move.
Untap. And you know what? We'll play it. That means we draw a card.
Nice. Nice getting value there.
Is this one?
Stephan's getting a lot of extra draw and giving me a lot of card disadvantage with his looping.
And you still have a lot of cards, don't you?
I have 5 cards at this point.
That's a lot. You know what? Let's make it 4 cards.
I'm going to discard a swamp.
And now attack for 1.
I can't do anything about that. Actually, it's got Summoning Sickness.
It does something.
Yes.
Go!
I'm going to untap. I untap my cards. Then I'm going to draw a card. And that is exactly what you want to see at this point of the game. So what I'm going to do is, for 5 mana, I'm going to be playing Watcher in the Mist. It's a 4/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, surveil 2. So allows me to dig for something that might be a little bit more practical. I'm actually going to... I'm going to keep this one.
You sure?
And I'm going to throw this one away, which is a Passwall Adept, a 1/3. And for 3, target creature can't be blocked this turn. And then I'd like to pass the turn.
Then it's my turn. Untap. Draw. Of course, we play the land. Then, since David is tapped out, this is not how we need to tap.
I'm not tapped out, by the way. I still have 2 mana.
2 mana. Okay. It's not that you can do anything with 2 mana, can you? Deadly Visit. Destroy the creature. Fulfill 2.
Yeah, I can't do anything about that. So that means my Watcher in the Mist goes bye-bye.
Yeah.
Goes into the graveyard.
Fulfill 2.
Unfortunately.
These are the cards, which means we'll put the swamp in the graveyard, and this is the card we'll keep on top. And the Disinformation Campaign goes back to my hand.
How unfortunate for me.
I'll attack you for 1.
I go down to 15.
Then I'll play 1, 2, 3 for a Field Shade, and I pass the turn.
Okay, I'm gonna untap, draw a card. Already knew what that was. Then what I'm gonna do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, I'm playing my Siege Worm, 5/5 Trampler, and then I pass the turn. And hopefully Stephan should be out of removal at this point. But with Stephan, you never know. So we're going to hope that the Siege Worm could at least swing in a few times.
Well, we know which one this is.
Let's see what happens.
How many cards do you have in hand?
I have 4 cards in hand.
4 cards in hand?
Correct.
That's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 mana. That's a lot of mana. What do I want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. You know what? I'll keep this one like this. So 4, 3 mana. This information campaign. You discard a card, I draw a card.
Discard an island.
I draw this. And we have not played a land this turn yet. So we'll play a swamp. And for 5 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With this ability, I can add 1 mana of any color if that mana spent on a multicolored creature spell. That creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter. A Tata for 1 extra mana. And a Tata can be blocked, it's a 3/5, and when it connects, it does a lot of cool things.
Basically, just exiles a creature of the opponent.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. It's removal on a stick. Problem is that once it does deal damage, it will get shuffled back into his library.
I was thinking about doing something else, but I didn't. I guess I'll attack for 1.
Go down to 14.
Pass the turn.
Untap my lands. Draw a card. Then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 4 mana to destroy target creature.
That works.
It is the statue part for 4 mana, destroy target creature, artifact, or enchantment. So Ertrata has been turned into a statue. Then I would like to go to combat, declare combat. I'd like to attack with the Siege Worm.
No blocks. Go to 15.
Then for 3 mana, I would like to play Spinal Centipede. Spinal Centipede is a 3/2 creature insect, and when it dies, we're going to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And then I pass the turn.
Untap.
The game is starting to heat up at this point.
Yeah, I was thinking that would happen. Okay, you had so many cards in hand, it had to be done. And then we get this one. But I'm not sure if I want to use it right now. But I do want to attack.
So now I'm looking at Stephan. He's got the Shade, and he could pump a lot of mana into it to be able to deal. Let me see, how many black sources do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 times he'd be able to pump it. So that is 5 plus 2, that's 7. So we can have it deal 7 damage. If I put on the Spinal Centipede, I will die. I can put a +1/+1 counter on my Worm, which is not too bad. So I will try and avoid that damage by blocking with my Spinal Centipede.
Which means I will make it a 4/4.
A 4/4. The Spinal Centipede dies, and I get to put a +1/+1 counter on my beautiful Siege Worm, making it a 6/6 Trampler.
And you take 1.
I go down to 13.
But of course, we had a plan. Deadly Visit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Destroy that creature and Seville 2.
Unfortunately, the Siege Worm gets killed and goes into the graveyard.
Then we have these 2 cards on top, and they do work pretty well together. So I am going to keep them on top. Like this and like this. Then, since I filled, this one goes back to the hand. And with 2 mana left, for Lazav. And then pass the turn.
Wow. Alright, I'm gonna have to find a way to deal with this problem. Draw, untap this card, which is pretty sweet. What we're going to do is we are going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just read Lazav real quick. When Lazav enters the battlefield, surveil 1, so 1, 3.
Oh,
and
I did not surveil 1.
and
But it doesn't matter, because we already knew what was on top.
And when we pay X, we can have it become a copy of target creature card in the graveyard with converted mana cost X, except its name is Lazav, sorry, and it's legendary in addition to its other types. Okay, so anytime Stephan can pay the converted mana cost of any creature in any graveyard.
In my graveyard.
Only in his own graveyard.
Yeah.
Okay, to turn it into that creature. What creatures do you have in your graveyard?
I have a Child of Night, a Plaguecrafter, a Whisper Agent, and a Trata.
Okay. That is interesting. Trata costs how much?
4.
4. So for 4 mana, he could turn Lazav into Trata, giving it that super useful ability. So then the question is, what are we going to do about this? And I think, very scary, but at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, indeed we are going to pay. We are going to pay. Tricky. What are we going to use the 6 mana on? I've got 2 things that I could do. And I think what I want to do is...
You can also pass the turn.
No, it's okay. I'm actually going to pay 2 mana and then pass the turn.
Untap. Draw. And we already knew what was on top. 1, 2, 3. This information campaign. I really love this card. It was so many things, so many cards for me.
That is actually a really big problem for me.
How many cards do you have in hand?
2. And I need both of them.
No, you don't need both of them.
Yeah, I do kind of need both of them. That is extremely unhandy. Yeah, that is pretty serious problem actually. Okay. So now it's time to make a decision. What do I want to do later? Want to play one or do I want to play the other? And I think what I want to do is simply get rid of Artful Takedown, which I was really hoping to use.
Ooh.
I'm going to pass. Yeah, just throw that one away.
Then I'll draw a card, which is this one, which you already seen.
What do you draw? Oh yeah, nothing.
Yeah, for the Salvation campaign. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana left. 1, which I'll use the ability for. 2 mana. Dimir Spybark with a counter.
What is it? Oh yeah, because you got the thing. Yeah,
I use this ability.
Wow.
Then I'm thinking what I should do. You know what? I'll just attack. With these 3.
Okay.
Still have 5 mana left.
Yes, I'm gonna do no blocks.
No blocks.
No.
So if I don't use, if I use Lazav's ability now, he will most likely have the 4 mana instant speed kill spell, and I will kill it and I use all my 4 mana. I might even think using the shade might be the best thing to do, but I'm not gonna do anything. Let's go to damage.
Okay.
Take 4.
Take 4. Go to 9.
Then what I want to do is Unexplained Disappearance on the house
Guild Mage.
That
is nasty. Yes.
Because then you cannot tap my things anymore.
That is definitely what I need.
And Isophil.
Yeah.
Which is a land which we don't need at the moment anymore. And then the Disinformation Campaign goes back to my hand.
Yeah, that's way
and
too much
the
value.
Dimir Spybug gets to 2. And then I play the Disinformation Campaign again, which means you can choose 1 card.
Gonna get rid of House Guild Mage, but at this point I feel like I've gotten too much of a disadvantage.
Pass the turn.
And hence I don't think I will be able to recover from this. Oops, they're definitely not gonna be able to recover with this. So I'm just gonna play 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play Affectionate Indrik, a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. And now he cannot pump neither Lazav nor the Shade. I think the Shade is dangerous because he'd be able to kill me very easily. On the other hand, Lazav, he could turn into Ertrada and then exile my creature on the attack. So there's not a lot of things that I can do which can truly save me. But I think the one that can probably pump the most is probably the Shade. So I will kill the Shade.
You kill the Shade?
Yes.
Then it dies.
And then I pass the turn.
Untap. Draw. Which is this one. Which is what we need. It's not really needed, but it's good. If we play this, then we have this, and then we still have this left, which means this, and then we still have this, which is not enough. Which means it doesn't really matter, does it?
So what are you trying to do, Stephan?
I'm thinking. You know what? Let's see what you do. I'll attack you with everything.
Yes, I will block your Lazav with my Affectionate Indrik.
For 3 mana. 1, 2, 3. I'll make Lazav I'll make it a Shade.
Yeah.
Which means for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For 6 mana, it gets +3/+3, which is makes it a 5/5.
Correct. Yeah. So then my Indrik dies.
Yeah, and then you still take 4 damage.
Correct. So I go down to 5.
And then pass the turn.
There is not a single card in my deck that can actually save me at this point. And this is no different. So for 4, I play a Muse Drake. When it enters the battlefield, I draw a card. And unfortunately, this card comes in way too little, way too late. And then I pass the turn.
Untap. So my Lazav is still a felt shape, and it does have the ability of Lazav, which means I can still use it, the ability. Now draw a card, which is a swamp, which we'll play. And oh, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make Lazav an Atrata, which means it's 3 power and unblockable. And I'll attack you with these 2. One has menace and one is unblockable.
I cannot do anything about that, which means I take 3 plus 3, that is 6 damage, and then I die. Well done, Stephan. Congratulations. All right, that was an example of both of our pre-release decks going up against each other. And if you want to hear how we built these decks, what we thought about our pre-release, then click on the video card on your screen right now, and that is basically our evaluation of the pre-release and what we learned. So let's see you there.